This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. I'm back with a Don, the big man. We caught up over Zoom. I think you were your family. Well, I know I've got to do the introductions. When I'm familiar with someone like yourself, Kalle, your family were pestering you to go to Winter Wonderland, and you said, "No, hold up. I'm doing an interview with Parsons," and we did it.
One I done before you were the last one I done before Christmas. Yeah, it feels like a million years ago now. Well, since then. You know, we've had a change of main event opponent. That was our New Year's.
He told me Dennis weren't going to pull out, and he did, Kalle.
Yeah, I know. I got that one wrong, eh? And then, you know, we obviously surprised a few people with a brand spanking, the first big announcement of the boxing world a couple of days ago with our 5-year bonanza deal for Misfits Boxing. So delighted, you know. So yeah, flown in today from a mystery location somewhere, as you can see from the wonderful tan of my skin, and buzzing to kick us off this year with this huge event this weekend, and then rolling on to next week, obviously with Eubank-Smith.
Kalle, obviously we're sort of conflicted this week because we are a boxing channel that covers the professional stuff, so I've got to ask you about that, but also very important to outline what you're doing here with Misfits. Just firstly, for the sort of viewers that have clicked in for the professional side of stuff, Eubank-Smith next weekend. We saw Eubank doing a bit good PR actually on Good Morning Britain.
Yeah,
just really going well to sell him for this fight.
The hand speed to the body and, you know, everything else, he's looking in shape. Look, Roy is a great person to have down there with him as well. He's, I think, you know, one of the greatest fighters of all time, and have that sort of presence in a preparation for a big fight is just huge, you know. So I'm really excited for Manchester. Yeah.
We're seeing more come out in the war of words. I'm gutted that I won't actually be there next week, but I will be avidly watching from wherever I am. Look, it's going to be a feisty one. You told me that the gloves are off was feisty. We're seeing more and more clips posted. They don't like each other, and I think next week, it's going to get serious.
But I don't think it's like a dislike of because of what someone's done.
I think Smith's getting angry now.
I just think they're just chalk and cheese. I don't think it's not like it's that where there's been, you know, beef before that they've smashed something over each other's heads at a weigh-in or a press conference, or there's been a run-in, or there's not really much of that. It's honest dislike, but I don't think it's about Chris as such or Liam Smith as such. I think it's just that those two type of characters don't get on, whether that's before a fight or whether it's on a sitting next to each other on a bus.
Let me ask you, obviously after this we're seeing more and more talk now of Conor Benn coming back. We've still not actually heard anything. I know you don't know anything, so no point asking you, but I think Chris Eubank has now spoken, said that the fight needs to happen. It's more than just family now. They've got their own war of words. We are still a little bit in the dark though, to be honest, Kalle. We've not had anything back. I think Eddie's pushing for something back from the WBC. They're saying that he's clear to fight, but we as boxing fans, we still don't know anything. Like I say, I don't expect you to know anything, but do we expect to see this in the future? And if we do, are we going to have some sort of clarity around what happened in the first place? Or
I can't say much on it, because if he's cleared, I absolutely think we will see that fight in the future, you know, 100%. But until there's been something being announced, I'd be a bit silly to speculate on someone who's had adverse findings, you know. So, you know, I'm not sure how to answer the question, because, like, what am I going to say? I could say, oh yeah, you know, we're definitely going to do the fight on. People will say, well, how do you know that? You know, we don't know. And if it would be that he's cleared, absolutely love to do the fight. Why not?
You aiming at that for the back end of 2023?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not looking past Liam Smith. Look at other fights, of course. That's the job. That doesn't stop. It didn't stop over the Christmas period. You know, 2-3 different discussions ongoing. But at the same time, to speculate now past Liam, it would be a big mistake because Liam Smith is a very live opponent.
Kalle, on a personal note, I'll congratulate you. You launched Misfits Boxing. No one was sure what to expect. DAZN clearly impressed as you've signed a 5-year plus deal, minimum of 6 fights a year with 2 pay-per-views. You must be buzzing, but I think also maybe now the pressure on a little bit to find another pay-per-view star in this industry?
Yeah, well, I was talking about that before. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people coming through in it, and it's a very young industry. It's a very young space. So far, really, you've had KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Weller. In the early days, so you're seeing now a crop of names come through, and it's very easy at the same time for people to do that in this space because they've all got a following. They all are somehow promoting themselves. You watch the press conference, like for example today, and you see 7 press conferences in one. Yeah? So it's like you're sitting there watching it thinking, right, this is the main event, but no, actually it's the first fight on the card. And you're just going through it, and it's a completely different experience, yeah.
Filip Hrgović, the IBF have rescinded their mandatory in that situation. Just your reaction and thoughts. They sort of come out now and say we agreed that the WBA was first. Daniel Dubois isn't able to box. How is Filip Hrgović? And now Eddie Hearn's come out and said there will be an opponent for Anthony Joshua April the 1st. Is Filip Hrgović in that mix, do you know?
That IBF situation I'm not going to comment on because there's something ongoing there.
Interesting.
That will be very clear in the next couple of days. No more comment on Filip Hrgović.
Do you believe that there is a chance that it could be called now then and stop the undisputed fight?
I don't think it's about stopping the undisputed fight. I think it's just about the clarity of position of Filip Hrgović.
Would that sort of suggest that maybe you were a little bit unhappy with them rescinding the mandatory?
No, they're not unhappy. It's just not. It can't happen because he's boxed the final eliminator, and that's what the situation is. So.
Anything on AJ for April 1st?
It's interesting up here. I don't know who this fella is. Very loud.
Anything on AJ April 1st? Filip Hrgović? Okay, all right, Kalle. Finally from me, what can we expect? KSI face Temper this Saturday night, pay-per-view.
Listen, on all Misfits cards, I expect the unexpected. And that's what you do. You watch it because it's fun to watch. If it's not your cup of tea, you're a boxing traditionalist, I'd say give it a chance, have a watch. But you can't deny it's entertaining. You can't deny it's just sheer madness sometimes. And other times there's some decent boxing. It's a bag of all sorts. But one thing is for sure, never a dull moment.
Kalle Sauerland, thank you very much.